And ciao nice people, welcome to the stream. It's that time of the year. Well, it's always the time of the year to make games, to be honest, but what better moment if not one of the biggest game jams on itch.io. And hello Returnophilia, nice to see you there, how it's going? We finally have the gem. The team is revealed. Unfortunately, I got spoiled. Still, we can see the team right here. And later we can comment on it, brainstorm, and see if we can find an idea for a game. I came in with some ideas before, but they are not fitting for a game. For example, I had one idea, like I got 2 days ago while thinking about the game jam, which was like a skibidi novel, like a visual novel with all the text and stuff, trying to write it carefully, but with a big button saying, "This is boring." So in this way, it's both for players that like visual novels and players that don't. People that don't play visual novels press the big button, "I'm bored," and then something very funny and young happens. Something for young generations, I suppose, which kinda jokes on the low attention span. Though I don't think it's fitting for this team. So, also I have a lot of other ideas I saved on my I took notes on a private Discord server, and I have a lot of ideas of games, but I had 1 or 2 ready, but none of them fit, so I think it's good in a way. Let's see the team. Yeah, we can speed up a little.
To GMTK Game Jam 2025. This is a crazy fast game-making marathon where you have just 4 days to make a game that fits a theme. And this year's theme is just one word.
Waldorf.
As always, how you interpret this theme is entirely up to you. Perhaps it's about doing the exact same thing over and over again. Perhaps it's about
doing things all over and over again are inherently boring if you don't spice it up. So, as it says, everything can be made in a good game, but time loop is very charming in a way. We can expand on this later.
Racetracks or programming.
Did Donkey Kong just dub?
Perhaps it's about racetracks.
He's dubbing. Oh well.
Or programming instructions.
Oh, a programming loop. I didn't think about it. Or
the loops.
Just
You'll
this.
get a chance to explain how your game fits the theme when you submit it, and you won't be disqualified if the game doesn't adequately fit the theme. Right. So, Jam submissions are now open and will close in 96 hours. Which means you can upload your game
Skibidi, yeah, skibidi novel, like visual novel, but skibidi, like for young people.
whenever you want, and then you can keep updating it at any point before submissions shut. Make sure you keep an eye on the Game Jam website over on itch.io. There you'll see a countdown telling you exactly how long you have left to submit, all the rules you need to follow, important information about how to submit your game, and any other updates and announcements as they happen. You can also join the...
Okay, we know the stuff. So, some comments on the team. In a way, loops in video games, more like time loops, are very, very loved. Like, people are obsessed with time loops, and I don't judge them because I find them interesting as well. Though I feel like this is kind of an easy shot as a game jam team. Like loop, yeah, sure, everyone loves to make an indie game about loops. I'm sure there are too many games about time loops, right, in video games. So in a way, we can start already with what I mentioned about it. Because we got loop. Let me zoom it a little. And bigger. Okay. We have the time loop, which is probably our default choice.
Ways how you interpret
Other way they defined it is the doing something over and over, which is not strictly a time loop. It's like a character doing an action time to time. But as I commented before, that needs to be spiced up, otherwise it's boring. For example, in a fighting game, you need to do a loop of put your hands up, rotate 90 degrees, and do it 4 times every time you want to attack. Kind of rough example, but that's kind of what I mean. Mainstream but cool. Yeah, I think they went safe this time.
this theme is entirely up to racetracks.
One other is with Donkey Kong dubbing here. I'm sure they took it intentionally. We have a looping area. Like the other game we played, breaking the loop with RPG Maker. Literally a loop with a shortcut in the middle.
Racetracks or programming.
Programming loop didn't come to mind. So, which is still the same thing though. Something looping.
Loop the loops. You'll get a chance to explain how your game fits the theme when you submit.
Okay, that's everything. We can close it. And you know what? We can even get the picture. We have 4 days. Loop. So, first of all, I want to brainstorm a lot. If I don't find an idea, I will not make a game. That's how I want to participate. I want to make a game on an idea I really like. Or at least I can do in a very short amount of time. Because if I really like an idea, I can take extra time and overwork myself. Otherwise, we can just do something small for a stream. So, as we start, I don't really have a lot of notes in my games I want to make about time loops. Technically, it can be a little forced, like there is the idea of Evil Lord Corporation when you need to do action in a specific order, where if you lose, I could make that the time loops back and you have to do other choices, but that's not really inherently into the gameplay. You can just remove the time loop and just have that if you lose, it's a game over. So, in a way, having a time loop requires that I would say actually some time loops games have the time loop very unnecessary. There, for example, games where you need to do things in a certain sequence, otherwise you lose, and then you time loop. You can just have that the player game overs, and then they need to try it all over again. So I would prefer to make a time loop if I will make one where it's not only knowledge. Well, though Outer Wilds was literally this, so I don't know. Yeah, Outer Wilds is like every time you get a game over, but at least you respawn in the middle, so it kinda helps. Other than that, I have I had actually one idea of a lot of time ago, which only recently I rediscovered, because I forgot about this idea. Let me check it out. Where is it? I'm pretty sure I had an entire file. Here it is. It's in Italian, bear with me. It's, I think this would be a decent idea for the gem. It's a sick hero, right? No, wait, there was something about a loop. Well, 2 of them actually. Let's see. Loop. No. Okay, there are two very small game ideas which can match pretty well with the game jam and the theme, or could fit in the theme. One is one map adventure. I got inspired by a random Korean game. This one. Don't ask me how I found it. I don't remember. No, shut up. A game where you can just walk 10 steps, which doesn't inherently have a loop, but for example makes up for interesting gameplay where you need to save your steps. Here is the counter of 10, and by doing battles or events it reduces. I don't want RPG Maker battles though, for obvious reasons. Again, I wanted to make less RPG Maker than possible. An entire RPG on a 5x5 map. Yeah, that's another of my ideas. I think still inspired by a game like this. Where is it? I think it's another... No, I think it's on my Discord. Yeah, it's another idea of an entire RPG on a map. But that wouldn't fit the loop. This one doesn't really fit the loop as well, but I think could be of inspiration. Okay, the other one is a sick hero, which could be a little more fitting with the theme, which I got inspired during a dream. Honestly, I don't remember the dream, so I don't know. Where a hero can survive only a minute if he doesn't take medicines. So he needs to defeat a boss while taking a lot of medicines. It's like having a timer. When the timer runs out, you die, and when you take a medicine, the timer restarts. That's not really a loop though. So, I don't know. Maybe there's possibility to fix it a little. And maybe I had another game with a loop. Here, infinite, how it's called, infinite investigation, where a person, when he dies, turns back in time. Pretty common, but let's see the idea I had. He got a poison that would kill him. He needs to investigate on a plot and find an antidote in those days. Though I don't think it's an innovative idea, or it doesn't need to be innovative, but I don't know, doesn't feel too outstanding to me. The inspiration is from how it's called, when your card dies, activates an effect. Death Rattle, yeah. Inspired by Death Rattles and Ghost Trick, of course. Though here I mention could be similar to other games. No, this is similar to other games. Maybe putting a walking limit, a step limit. And this, I think, can be linked to the other game I mentioned before. Sick Hero. Or wait, One Map Adventure. The one we saw here. We saw, right? That you can only do 10 steps and you lose. So we can have some sort of... I think... Wasn't there already a game where we had a time loop of steps? There was Minute, which we had a time loop of time, not steps. So maybe having a time loop of steps would make it a little more interesting, maybe more puzzle. I'm thinking about a puzzle game right now. Yeah, I think the best choice with RPG Maker would be a puzzle game, because doing more complex stuff would require a lot of time. And of course, we don't go RPG, right? Sounds loopy. I suppose that would be what most of people will do. Let me look though. Like a puzzle... I was wondering if there are other games like the one I did. Because definitely there would be a puzzle game where you need to time loop back with a limited steps. Not limited time, limited steps. That's the main idea though. Limited steps. Then you loop. Okay, we have another thing to keep in mind. It's kind of constraint I put to myself, but actually by putting constraints, I find that I find good ideas or decent ideas for the plot or something else, which is how can it be canon in Waldorf verse? Because yeah, every of my games is in one of my settings. There are actually two settings for now. The world of culture, where there is a respawn banter to the upper dam, an aggro in the dungeon behind. I wanna build a gate. I'll invalidate your aid. And the other, the world of tricks, where there's something is wrong with my world map, exploit keeper. And that's it for now, right? So first we need to consider how these limited steps work in the lore. I promise, it sounds completely unreasonable to think about it now, but if I think an excuse right now, we can shape the entire setting. That's actually how I work. At least in the gem games. So wait, I also had a flash. I remembered another game I made before. An idea I made before. Like, while I was streaming development of Respawn Banter, I tried to make a minigame about flowers. When you jump forward, they bloom back. Though that wasn't really fitting for the game. Though again, I don't see how it would match a time loop. But that would be an interesting mechanic for a puzzle game. For a step-based puzzle game. Though that means it would only make it... you know what? Personally, on paper, the theme sounds cool, but for me specifically, I think... I don't know. I personally find it's a good team. There will come a lot of good games out of this, but for me... Because I always love to find weird, wacky gameplay mechanics in my games. A loop though is already a wacky mechanic, and it's not very Waldorf-like, it's what I mean. So maybe we need to find a unique twist around it. Okay, so I'm extending the time for the brainstorm. Well, there wasn't any time to begin with. Still, we won't go out of this until we find a loop. So what is a loop? I'm not in the United Kingdom, so it should work. Oh, come on. We have too many. Maybe here. Etymology. Loop. Wait, this guy sounds like he's in in the back room, so like here this guy. Loop. The echo is absurd, so he's probably in the back rooms, which is kind of a loop on its own. The back rooms, right? I don't think I will bring out though my game of the zero maps of RPG Maker, which are infinite, but that don't loop. So never mind. From, let's see, a length of thread. Oh, I like this. There's a lot of stuff. Good inspirations. A length of thread, line or rope that is doubled over to make an opening. I know. The opening so formed. A shape produced by a curve that bends around and crosses itself. A ring road or beltway. Hello Zoro. Oop! I wonder how many O's are required to make an actual loop and go through the entire screen again. I don't think it would even work. We are checking up definitions because we got some ideas, but I'm not really convinced. And I take the brainstorming a little too seriously, so I'm checking now what it means. Like extra definitions. You know what the French call a monster who turns from a human to a wolf and back indefinitely? A loup-garou. I don't know how it's called in French, I'm sorry. I suppose that's werewolf in French? A complete circuit of electric current, okay, I know. And a strip of tape or film allowing continuous repetition. Okay. Programming. Okay, I know in programming. We could make a programming game, but that... I'm definitely not convinced by it. A graph theory, an edge that begins and ends on the same vertex. Yeah, I studied graph theory. I took like the lowest grade, but I passed. And yeah, I remember a loop. It's like having a... Yeah. It's like having a node that connects to itself. Like that has... it's like... for example, numbers. Like 4 is divisible by 1, 2, and 4. So 4 has an arrow that points to 2, 1, and itself. In that way, 4 is divisible by 4 is a loop, if we place it on a graph. We could make something out of this, because you know that... Okay, that... I think I got a very basic idea. But for a game jam, maybe we should do something basic. Let me try it. Can I draw? No. So we have our nodes. It's the game of drawing a straight line without crossing paths. It's this simple. Like, come on. Like the game of drawing paths without crossing them. For example, to solve this, we can go here, 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 and here, and we complete it, and we form a loop, and we can even have a game theory loop, which is this. Let's see if I can make it. Yeah, should be a circle, but this is a game theory loop, which is a node that connects to itself. In this way, the mini game of drawing everything in a straight line will change, because now we have... No, wait. It doesn't change. It doesn't change at all. So there's no point. Ah. Okay, never mind. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe we can look into this further a little. Yeah, it's werewolf in French. Okay, I guessed. I wonder if they use the joke in Frankenstein Junior. I was thinking to make a programming game. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. I think some other people will do it, but I don't know where to begin myself. So unless I find good ideas on that, I will try other ones. You should look up graph theory if you're into this. Yeah. I actually studied graph theory, as I said. Again, I didn't take a good grade, but I did still study. I still have my notes. Wait. That's right, my notes. Graph and game theory. Let's see. Loop. We have plenty. There's no definition of loops though. Because maybe it's that basic. Here, okay, just defines what a loop is. I don't think we would get other important information out of this, though. Maybe by studying game theory, but actually we could go into game theory. That would be a decent idea for RPG Maker, because in this way it doesn't look RPG Maker. And we don't even need good art. Wait, that could be a good idea, not for gameplay. We can think about the gameplay later, but could be a good base where to start, because if we do RPG Maker with a similar art style, we don't need... A, we don't need graphic resources, and B, doesn't look like RPG Maker. We won. We just need polishing, which I'm not an expert on doing, unfortunately. A lot of roguelite games are often framed with a loop narrative element. You're getting bonuses between run and often explained as your character getting an advantage for knowing about the loop in advance. Yeah, that's right. Roguelikes are a loop. Personally though, I don't think I will do a roguelike because it's a lot of work for 3 days. And also, I feel like the loop mechanic will not end up as the main one. So we'll look elsewhere, unfortunately. You can make nodes like train station reports. If you put multiple train airplanes moving through the graph, you can have a cool game. Wait, you reminded me of another idea for a game I had. I don't think it fits, but for example, it's a idea I got when I was waiting for buses. For example, I have a bus here, which is the bus number 21. And here, oh come on, can I make the same shape? And here we have the bus 4. The line of the bus 4 goes only here, and the 21 goes like here. But we need to go here, and only the line number 25 can go here. So what do we do? Simple. We move the train or the bus number 4 on this line where it can go, reach here. We merge it with 21. We have, and 21 plus 4 makes 25. And suddenly we can walk and we can ride the bus on the line 25. That's the idea for a game I had. I don't know how much a loop plays into it though. You can make a game with a failed state softlock and implement the loop as a way for the player to restart with the previous knowledge to avoid it. Like stars and time. Yeah, that's probably one thing that a lot of developers will make. Though I don't like a lot the idea of a time loop used only to restart, because in that way, what changes between a time loop and just a game over? What changes if you remove the time loop and just place a game over instead? You restart in any case. You have the knowledge from before. The only difference is it matters in the story, but I don't want to have a team only in the story at this point. So the idea of the buses, it's an idea I saved. I don't see how the loop comes into place. Maybe we need to make... Maybe we need to make a loop out of the city. Like the objective is to loop around the city. Take an item from place A to place B and loop back. I was thinking about a space loop. Like you walk on the left screen and appear on the right. Yeah, that's also an idea that I wanted to use on Artesio. Like there is this character in Artesio. I forgot her name. Olandia. That she's a space pirate and she has the power to go loop around the screen. You don't really play as her, but I also got the idea of making a spin-off. Like a game about Hollandia. Though only looping around the screen is not enough. I actually though think we could do something about it. This will be easy to make in RPG Maker. I was actually thinking of different ways of looping. Because, for example, if it's a 2D game, looping is easy. But if it's a 3D game and you are playing on a sphere, or let's say on a cube, going up... Oh. Wait, actually I had another idea for this. Wait. It's kinda hard to make without 3D, but let's see. Can I Google a Rubik cube is enough. Okay. So for example, let's say a character is here on the top and is facing. Can I rotate this thing? No. Come on. And you are facing down this direction. If you walk here and then you walk on the right, you are still facing down. If you walk on the right, still facing down, now you're facing this direction down. But if you walk here, now you're facing this direction instead of facing this direction. That means by looping around a cube, a 3D cube though, you will rotate. Again though, I don't think it's super reasonable to do in RPG Maker, so I think I unfortunately have to pass on this. Trippy, I know. And unfortunately, I don't think it's easy to make in RPG Maker without having like a zoom out of the 3D setting. Too bad, because the idea would be pretty cool, and yeah, I'm not learning Unity in 3 days. There's no way to make like a 3D thing like this. Actually, there might be with RPG Maker, but I think it requires too much effort. Also, again, we need an art style for this, and in 3 days it's kinda hard to find the right art style. Though I think it's a good idea. We are definitely saving this. Unfortunately, it's not easy or even hellish to program on RPG Maker, so definitely not the best doable idea. If you're good with JavaScript, you can use 3JS to make 3D stuff. Oh, that's right, there's 3JS. Huh. I could try, but I don't remember how to use 3JS. Though it's a good idea. I wish I could try it with RPG Maker. Also, there's a library. I don't think it's that's hard. Well, it's hard, but I can technically paste the screen on a side of a cube and have placeholder pictures on the others. Still doesn't sound easy though. Still doesn't sound easy. Let's see other ideas. We took some time here. Topology, a path that starts and ends at the same point, okay? Transport, a bus on a rail route. Huh! Talking about buses. I think the idea of the buses here is not the most enticing one, but it's still a game I wanted to try to make, and we don't need a good art style for this, right? We can even go very minimal. Transport, a bus or rail route, walking route that starts and ends at the same point. Rail transport, a place that at a terminus where trains or tram can turn around and go back the other way without having to reverse. A baton loop? Huh? Wait, are we going trains? Are we going full trains here? Okay. A balloon loop. Huh. I see. Or balloon loops here. Okay, it's simple, it just goes around. Tuning loop or reversing loop? Oh, come on. Interesting. I think we are gonna give a try on 3JS. If we don't manage anything, at least we got some fun out of it. Let me finish first here. Rail transport a passing loop, it's the same? No. And there's no page for it. Algebra. A quasi-group with identity. Huh? Okay, no, not math. A loop shaped in routering device? Huh? Okay, we don't need to know, maybe. Aerobic maneuver in which the aircraft flies in a circular path. Oh, do a barrel roll! A small narrow opening, a loophole. A loophole! Wait! A loophole! Huh. I didn't think of this. Like, having an exploit. That's my exploit keeper, right? That game could fit, but yeah, I don't see loophole actually be an instant recognition of the team. A game about finding loopholes in contracts. Or I actually love the idea a lot, Zoro, you know? Because I love finding loopholes. Because I love to play a lot on words. I don't think it will be this easy to have a way to... Wait, because I was thinking... The hard part would be to actually do the thing to find the loophole. Like, if the loophole is jumping through a window, I need to program an entire section for each contract, and honestly, it's also kind of awkward. It should be more a theoretical action than the physical action. How to say? Usually a loophole is, let's see, for example, to contact a system. I don't know what loopholes are. For example, stacking multiple discount coupons. So maybe an alternative to this would be to have just a contract. You point out which row or which sentence has the loophole, and then you choose between a bunch of actions. And if you get the right one, you win. Though having a game with only text and not reactions, because I think could work, but I think would feel a little lacking since I want to do it with only the contract itself and not any action, not any map. But it's doable. It's a good idea. Pretty good idea. Find the loophole in contract. Here. Okay. Then we have alternative form of loop. Mass of iron.
Loop.
It's pronounced like loop, so... Biochemistry, a flexible region in a protein secondary structure, huh? Canada, a sports league, huh? Cricket, the curved path of the ball by a spin ball. Are we making a cricket game now? Do we make a cricket game? No. I don't even know how to play cricket. Okay, that's everything. Rated terms. In the loop, out of the loop. Loop the loop. What's loop the loop? A knock for a loop. To astonish, huh? The loop is to form something, fasten and circle, fly, move something in a loop, join components, duplicate the loop of a pipeline, create an error in a computer program so it runs in endless loop and the computer feeds it off. Wait, what if I make a game that infinitely loops? Wait, what if for a joke I will just have a loop that crashes the game? No, never mind. That would be an idea. Okay. I think we got our good good range of ideas. Now, what do we do? Okay, guys, I'm going to confess something. I actually already lived those 3 days. I already made a game in those 3 days, and I returned back in time. I'm in a time loop. Help! It's the 3rd time, and every time I cannot finish the game in time. So maybe if I complete the game, I will finally break free of this time loop. Please help! So we need to get our gamer gear on because we need to finish this game, or I will never break free. So those are the ideas. I actually like a lot the Orangia game, but we need to experiment with 3JS. Oh, hello Fortuna State, how it's going? We are making a game in not a lot of time. Themed around looping. We don't have the lurk command, I'm sorry. Not neither waifu lurk, I'm sorry. I think we are gonna give it a try on JS 3D, but attaching the entire screen to a face, I don't know how easy it will be in RPG Maker, how easy it will allow us. But definitely worth a try. Otherwise, the other easy route would be this thing. Though I don't think it would make for the best game. The loophole in the contract rated a lot. We need to find ideas for this, but I like this. I could even use my I can draw things myself, since we don't need to draw a lot, right? Only some paper for a contract and a pen even. Again, though, with this we won't have a lot of we will only have graphics of paper, so not a lot of action. Huh. And again, with this we need to find some other art style. First of all, let's open RPG Maker and see if we can actually place 3GS inside. How do I place 3GS in RPG Maker? No, but learning all 3GS for this, I don't think it's instantaneous. Though maybe it doesn't look that hard. We can give it a try. Worst case, we learn something new, and we might skip on the game jam. Or make a game that loops and crashes. That's also an idea. Pick the minefield and put in the plugin folder, then add in the index HTML. The minifield? What do you mean the minifield? Okay, I understand what you... I understand where to put it, though I don't know what to download. Here, code. So we have it on... Oh wait, we need to make it. So definitely on download. We need to make it. Let's close the game. And we sure. Project 3JS. No, let's 3JS here. So if it doesn't work, at least we have something. Here. At least we have a test project. Also, we don't need all the RTPs, right? Well, maybe a little. Is the minified? Not I've understood mini field. Everything is on a single line of code. You could use the whole code too. Okay, that's cool. Here we have 3 master in the meantime. That's what we downloaded. And that's not minified, right? Let's see, 3JS. Minified. Maybe like this. Or maybe on GitHub there are multiple versions. Min, probably min. Just to be sure, let's go from the official source. Huh. Well, I think it's fine, right? 3 core min, I suppose. Wow, it's really one line of code. No, this can be it, right? Is it? Because what we downloaded has a lot of stuff. Oh, that's it. Can't really stay in. Well, okay, maybe the line is longer than I thought. Sure. First we need. Oh, hello Raid! Long time no see. Let's add this one on the right. Okay. And we should put it here. Let's see. I know how it's done. So I suppose I add it here. Three core min JS. I hope it doesn't create issues. And a comma. Okay, first let's see if it loads, because it's the most important part. And we need to do a lot of plugins to remove the title screen, and most importantly, make a freaking cube. Huh. Something is wrong, and it's not with my world map. Probably. Oh, that's a lot. Export. Yeah, I don't know what's the issue though. Yeah, that's a long line. Definitely a long line. I don't know, unfortunately. I don't have many ideas, and definitely I don't have the time to look at the documentation. Would be pretty weird though if it's not compatible with RPG Maker itself. Doesn't help. Line 6. I thought it has less lines. No, exactly 6. Yeah, this is line 6. The error is on line 6. Good to know. Unexpected token. I don't know. It's JS, it should be right. I put it here. At least it's a positive thing, it says it's loading. Though not enough. Too bad. Do we have to... maybe... Could try directly using WebGL. Unfortunately, I'm not using it a lot, but... I don't even remember how to use it. I use it only at university. All the rest, not really. I don't know. I don't know if it's the time to look for something like this. I might go for the contract game. I think it should be loaded as external script in the index, not as a plugin. Yeah, I'm loading it as an external script. It's here in 3JS. Better stick for something now. Yeah, maybe we should try... You know what? We should try in another stream to... Or on myself, on my own, I don't know. To try to use 3JS or WebGL on RPG Maker. Because that would be very useful in the future. So the idea is... the loophole in the contract. Though... I'm not fully convinced around it because the idea can be cool. Can be cool, but I don't know. I feel like it may need something extra. The idea would be like we have a contract, like we can have it here. Declare that if I don't complete the responder before 2027, I will what is the... I will sell... Oh wait, we can also have like typos. Sell my soul to Kurizu. My Kurizu plush. Something like this. For example, this would be a contract. Do we have a background? Here. And for example, in the tutorial contracts, you just need to find the typos. In the tutorials. For example, here you sell my soul. I don't know what the verb seal is. Definitely linked to the animal, but... For example, like... I don't know, but we could use typos as a tutorial, but later when it will be correct, we might want to, I don't know, for example, the loop could be to create a new game called the Respawn Banter and complete it earlier, or maybe have a game like Mario Maker, create a level that you can choose the name and name it Respawn Banter. So you technically complete the Respawn Banter, but not the game, the level. That's the idea I have for this. But my current idea is about programming the movements of a robot to solve puzzles. Ah, okay, that's a cool idea actually. I love those sort of games. I'm really looking forward to it. Basic, but that's it. Well, I love those kind of games, so yeah, thank you a lot because if that's what I think, I would pretty enjoy it. About this idea, the thing is, we have to find loopholes here, which I think though this could be one of the best ideas for me, not because it's the best, but because it's the most practical. We just need to program some text, give some choices to the player, and we don't need a lot of art. We don't need to program a lot. Okay, the text, but that's it. So it's definitely very viable. Again, we need to remember it's 96 hours and I have a job now, so I can't afford to work full time. I give myself until tomorrow to come up with something else. Yeah, good choice, because the brainstorm is the most important part, which will make or break the idea. I'll make an example. In Persona 2, one of the protagonists, who is the leader of a gang, is getting beaten up by an opponent who made a wish to become the strongest gang leader around. The protagonist announces the title as the gang leader, meaning the enemy can no longer be stronger than him. Ah, okay, yeah, that's a cool thing. So, yeah, there could be something like this. Like, yeah, if we use the example, would be, I declare I won't be the strongest Pokemon trainer, or no, I won't be the strongest guild leader in the around. Or like we can have it with, for example, the Sleeping Beauty. Like the evil queen makes the Sleeping Beauty sign a contract that says, I hereby declare I won't be the most beautiful girl in this realm. So she either goes to another realm or she transitions in a man. So that's the idea. That's actually an interesting idea, because we could have different settings. That may be something that would freshen up settings. Because the idea was, we have a lot of contracts, but only contracts doesn't sound... Well, it's missing something, a link. So maybe having different settings is definitely the way. We can have the Sleeping Beauty setting. Even if not really Sleeping Beauty setting, we could have the Waldorf verse settings. Oh, that's more spicy. I wonder if you can recycle assets from Respawn Banter for a setting. Can you reuse assets? Assets. Okay, you may use persisting code and whatever artist to the asset you have the legal right to use. Huh. So we can use a Respawn Banter asset for a Respawn Banter setting, like you sign a contract with Eleven. We won't have the hero though. Okay, I like this thing. Okay. Actually, having the setting based on my games makes it way more interesting for me to make. So I'm a little more determined now. Setting. Contract with level. I'm actually loving this idea. Contract with Rhea. This will be the final boss, I suppose, or something closer. With Zorg, I suppose. I don't think we need to think about the characters, more like the context or what the contract will be. The hardest part in this then would be to find what loopholes we would want, because we also need to define a we need to define context of the protagonist of setting. And we need to define the loophole, which could be phrasing, or even typos, or second meaning. That's what I use a lot for making my dead jokes. So I hope I can find stuff on a regular basis. Okay. Also the contract. Well, we can shape what the contract says based on the setting. The important part is finding ideas for loopholes. So, let's see. Like the example of Persona 2, one could be the the strongest of something, or like the of the world, or the town, something like this. Or like there was that section from that film, which was it, Mulan maybe? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Like there was a Dark Knight saying, no man ever defeated me, and she removes her helmet, but I'm not a man. So something like that. So the idea is that there is a section you can click in any sentence, and there's a lot of choices you can make. Like for each sentence, you can try to have a lot of options, but not really all of them work. A lot of the options are just fake, hiding the fake ones. And I can even make a short text saying what happens if you take the wrong option. And the one who studied the Nazgul to make him fall was a hobbit, by definition not a man. Oh yeah! So, that's the second thing, like, right, not be a man. General term used. Like door. Like get out of the. Yeah, like I have an idea. Like you cannot go out of the door. And the solution is hello Lolo, how it's going? How is the brainstorming doing? Well, I would say I'm not finding the theme the best one for me, also because I feel like it's already a little overused, but people like this sort of game. I have difficulties in finding something to do in 3 days, but I got an idea. Like contracts, and you need to find loopholes to escape. That's the one I have. I'm here to steal some ideas. Oh, that's right, Lolo, you're participating. Well, sure, I was trying to start with having something 3D, like using Hollandia from Artisio, where you loop around the screen like a Pac-Man effect, but I left the idea to try to program 3D in RPG Maker, maybe. Maybe not the best in 3 days. Then I have the classic time loop, a puzzle game where you have limited steps. I think the best idea is to make a puzzle game. And then something like or the game theory with node loops, or even buses, trains. Use some trains numbers, but that's an idea I had before. At the end, I think I'm going with the idea of the loophole. When there is a contract and you need to find a loophole. I think I can fare decently well here because I love to look for second meanings in everything. The difficult part is coming up with ideas right now. I want more. I suppose they want more loop games. I don't mind. I like them as well. I I have problems too. I have a concept, but I don't think I can pull it off in 3-4 days. Huh. Yeah, that's the most difficult part here, because we are used on making a game in a month. 3-4 days, days of the weekday even. That's why I left 3D. Maybe it's better to make a simpler game. Mine, I think, will be used a lot in these jams. The classic puzzle with loop movements. Well, depends on how you do it though. But yeah, I suppose most of the people will make a time loop game, which is not a problem, but depends on how you use it. Again, as I said, loopholes, no, time loops risk to be not really that relevant for the game, paradoxically, because like, oh, if you go left and you die, oh, and time loop, you're back, now you know you need to go right, or the other direction. But here's the point, it's like having a game over. What's the difference between a game over and a time loop? That's what people need, the question people need to ask before doing a time loop game. Many people will use the loop for some kind of physics game, as ring strips and so on. Huh. That's right. I think the people like more the time loop games, so it depends. We still have 3 days. We only have 3 days, so I don't know what people can do in this amount of time. Well, people have a team, so maybe we are at a disadvantage here. I would suggest to make a game all together, but I like doing the stream, so I don't know. For now, I'm trying with my idea. Either that or they make a Sonic platforming game. Well, they had literally Sonic in the video. It's hard to make a decent game about time loops in 4 days. Yeah. Yeah, not even Stars in Time did it, and they didn't even have 4 days. Ooh! I'm sorry. I spotted someone in the team with 20 people! Huh. Yeah. I wish I had 20 people for my normal games, let alone jam games. That's a whole studio. I should enter the Discord and I don't know, just if I can find people not for the... I don't know. I need some networking. Okay, we need to find ideas for loopholes. Let's deconstruct the idea you cannot go out of the door. The idea is this. We have a contract that says you cannot go out of the door. It's simple. You break the door and you walk out, because that's not the door, that's the door frame. Yeah, stuff like this. Stuff like this. And here again, though it falls in this category, cannot be a man, for example. If it's a woman, would work, because it's a general term used for convenience. And here the door is the term used for convenience to say the door frame and the door. And going out of the door is a way to say it. Even if you don't really pass through the door, you pass through the door frame. So that's one, but I don't want everything to be like this. We could look online. No, something like... not in a sentence, come on. And legal loopholes also. Legal is more important maybe because definitely we are going a lot on text here. So, the legal drinking age around the country is 21, but in Wisconsin you can get around that fact and give your kids a stiff drink. The law says that a parent can give a child an alcoholic drink in a bar, restaurant, at home. First, the parent has to have a proper ID. Then they have to be the one to order the drink and get served the drink. Huh. Okay, that's... okay, though that's a little more straight or understandable or easy to get, right? Well, that could be for the tutorial, right? I think it's fine to have simple stuff like you can never buy food or something like this, and the solution is to ask someone to buy food for you. Like yeah, like you have heroes whatever, but you cannot buy anything. That's one of the first one, because the solution is simple. You just give the money to someone and ask them to buy them for you, and they keep the change. So it's not really paying, it's more like bribing. The definition can vary. Let's deconstruct this one. So this one on paper sounds pretty damning, but again, it's simple because the you is the key here. You cannot buy anything. You can make someone else do the things for you. So you can make other people do for you. Not only this, but other stuff. Avoiding the repo man. If you missed payments on your car loan, you may live in fear of the repo man. Repo says it's bad for your credit. I don't know, I don't live in America. Expensive to retrieve your car and embarrassing. There is a loophole for this though. The repo man... Oh, wait, let's stop a little. I remember another loophole, which is... that's a story I heard more than once. Like... there was having an appointment for the doctor, but they need to cancel it, and they say, no, I'm sorry, we can't cancel it since you need to call before 7 days. And then, but they can reschedule it, so they reschedule it for like 1 month away, call again, and then cancel it. That's a loophole. What's the loophole here? Not being able to do an action due to a restriction, but being able to do another action that changes the status and the restriction, and gets it out of the restriction. That's how I deconstructed the thing. So now we are just looking for legal loops. I see. Though I'm having some fun on reading those. Later though, we need to also program being able to click on text. So the repo man. The repo man usually has an address where the car is expected to be found. What if the car isn't there? Maybe it's in the neighbor driveway. They won't be able to take the car because it may very well belong to someone else. If you suspect a possible repossession, park your car at your neighbor's house. It's questionable though. Okay, not the best one. Downside of liability waivers. Many companies have you sign liability waivers before taking on some dangerous activity. For instance, if you choose to bungee jump, you will have to sign a waiver saying you won't sue them in case of severe injury. Unfortunately, the waivers are not ironclad. You can still sue if you have been harmed and signed a waiver. That's not really a loophole. Murder is legal in Colorado. Okay, I'm not going there. If you are in prison for murder, your life is over. There's nowhere to go and no way to get out of it. But there is a culture eventually springs up even in the terrible place. Grudges, cliques, and fights are common. Murders don't have any problem murdering again and getting stabbed to death. What is this section? So like, wait, though, I have an idea for another loophole. Yeah, murder is legal. Well, yeah, the idea is this: if you have a life sentence, you can just kill again. Right? And there's no punishment. So there could be something like this, like I for example, I don't have good ideas, but something like this where you cannot really exceed a value, then you can just do whatever you want. Huh. Let's see what it says after. In Colorado, you're allowed to defend your dwelling from intruders. A jail is your dwelling, and the inmate could be trespassing. Huh. Huh, interesting. Okay, though the problem with making loopholes is that you need to define a context and current rules. Unfortunately, some loopholes use other rules, external rules. Huh, this would seem a little harder than expected. But the idea still stands. For example, we could have what is a home? Because an idea could be, oh yeah, you defeat the evil lord, but you are bound to your home for the rest of your life. And what? You could say your home, the world is your home. That's a little simplistic though, a little too easy. I don't know. For the rest of your life, we could play around the respawn banter. You die and you respawn. I think that if we want to make one in the setting of respawn banter, we are gonna have for the rest of your life. We just make it clear before that there's the goddess of life that respawn the hero or something. I will see. Give away your adopted children, huh? Why suddenly the Gora reference? Ah no, wait, let me fix this. Let me fix it. Here. Throw in the pit your adopted children. Here, Gora reference, we have it. Abduction can be difficult. Some children are troubled, some parents aren't really ready for the type of responsibility. Then why you do it? It's possible to sign over the child to a family member or friend to help them through the crisis. People took this one step further and started signing over troubled children to people over the internet. Huh? And what is the kid supposed to do? Walk all the way there? Huh? Adoption agencies are adopting countries, and adopting countries don't have the ability to check up on all adopted children. Huh. Okay, why did we end up on child trafficking suddenly? No. And laws regarding nudity even? Huh. So you can stand on your private property while nude on North Carolina. Good to know. Good to know. In Kansas? Oh, of course it's Kansas. The law gets convoluted. You can walk down the street naked. Provided you cannot doing anything sexual. Huh? Huh? What? You can walk around naked in Kansas? What? Okay. I'm not going to Kansas then. The best religion ever. Who wouldn't want to join the Church of Cannabis? Huh? And Indiana bakers do not have to make cakes for some sex couples due to the religion convictions against it. Clever people decided to found a church in which weed is their savior. Yeah, they are attempting to get exemption status for their church so that cannabis can be used in a religious setting. That's actually pretty clever. That's a similar thing I heard. Like on Twitter, the Church of Satan. Again, the Church of Satan went against the abortion laws because it went against their religion. Pretty clever move in my opinion. El Baphomet. As long as you can find legal loopholes. So the thing was, wait, what was the last one? Ah, yeah, the Church of Satan or whatever. Like creating a, yeah, creating a religion that matches one of the definitions. Pretty vague, but that's what we will do for it now. For now. Okay. That's some of those. I suppose at the end, not the most enticing project, but I think it can work well for a game jam of 3 days. Now, we can start. We may want to open another project because this one is called 3JS. This one will be, how do we call it? Oh, we can find the name later, right? Like contract loop, loophole, contract hole. Huh. For now, we will call it like this. So, even if we didn't find all the ideas or we didn't even decide the setting, we can still program the basics because we need them for the rest. We don't need to brainstorm the basics because I have a clear idea on how the gameplay would work. Again, isn't not something very fancy, but it's a simple game. And I would love to have different settings based on my games. Even games I didn't release, so could work as a foreshadowing, huh? So, how do we start? First, we should make it wider, because I'm not using the default resolution anymore. Okay, just better. And then we need to work on the part. We have it wider. Hello, oh. What was a good map? What was a good first map? Ah, the UI is still there, okay. We are not using the UI though. Okay, so. What do we do? How do we make the text? How do I make it appear? There is a default plugin to make text appear, but would be nice to have a way to make text customly appear, because with the plugin the text is kind of weird. Would be nice to have a custom letters appear, but that would be much more extra effort. For now we are doing the low effort. So there is text picture. I love this plugin. It does some problems, but as long as it works. Also, you can click on pictures, right? So we can combo the two things because the text is considered a picture. And we may want to do this on code, right? Oh, yes. I think we can do it in a common event. It's relatively simple. So, for example, we have show picture 21. It's empty. And we say that the picture 21 as the first part of the text. Okay, though we may want to make it more smart. Because here we need to manually say everything. Let's take an example here. You have that much thousand, 1 million, but you cannot buy anything. You have. We also need to center everything, so maybe it's better to have it hard coded. I think it's for the best. You have gold and every wait we I may want to also highlight the text I'm hovering. I think we may consider doing it the code way. For now though, we have the prototype. For now the prototype, and if we really have time we can code our custom letters. For now we use the default one. The next one is 22. We should put it a little more on the right. Still won't work because I don't think I have a lot of options to line it up correctly. Let's see. Also, if we make them bigger, I suppose it's kind of weird. Can we make it bigger like this? Let's see how it goes right now. Okay, you can make text bigger, that's good. We may also want Visostella to have like cool outline effects. X is, let's say 600, 100 in Y. And same here. So I need to make this one for every text. Not the best, but not even the worst. Something like this. I should find a better font even, but that's for later. Now, the next step. First we should define a variable to specify which contract it is. I think it would be easier. Contract ID. Let's say 1 or 0, so we can have a fallback case. And when you click a picture, we'll link them to a common event. 21 is linked to common event 21. We don't have 21. $40. Yeah. So if you click picture 21, you have common event 21. Same with picture 22. Relatively simple. What do they do? I can make that each of them just define, instead of having the code in all of them, we can just have another one that says choice ID. In this case it will be the choice number 1. Okay, Hillian, thanks for coming. Good luck as well for the jam. I feel like doing this jam most of the time of development would be outside of the jam because there's a lot of thinking on ideas, on loopholes. So my idea is just to link back to the same. Or maybe I should do them here. Huh. Maybe it's better if I link them back just in case I want some cool effects. For now it doesn't matter, we can keep it like this. I'm starting to develop another idea, but I don't know if I feel like programming stuff. Well, if you need some help with something which doesn't take a lot of time, I would be gladly help. Though making an entire system, yeah, that's a little more hard to make, even less in 3 days. So I would suggest to stick on ideas that don't require too much programming, because 3 days are not a lot, let alone programming and also making art, define gameplay, polishing, all of that. I don't feel like it. I understand. Sometimes you don't want to do stuff. Luckily, I like programming, so at least the problem is making art. That's why after I'll invalidate your aid, I'm just paying everyone. I'm not drawing anymore. Lacking willpower. Ah. Okay, because myself, when I have a time limit of days, I'm getting a little more determined, but maybe now a little less because I have a job. So maybe it's the job that ruins people determination in making games. Huh? I see now, I see. Damn jobs, why can't we just live as game developers full time? So for now, the idea would be for each button there is, based on the contract ID, a list of choices, a lot of list of choices. For example, here it is, you have 1 million gold or whatever it is here. So this is by clicking on you have. And so by clicking in each section of the text, you can see all the options you have. Though I think we can make it a little more complex, because just showing all the options, the player can just see and choose the best option that sounds right. So instead, to make it more hard, because I don't want the player to just look at the option and choose the one that sounds good, I might make it a little more complex. Like, for example, give, take as the first one. And later, like we have the middle section, all the, or take some of, something like this. You create a sentence to give to define the loophole. And the best part is we could make it like the same for each choice. Each choice could have the same options: give, take, or the sum of money, or friends, because we have other options. The true option would have to have a the problem is you can't really see the rest of the options. The solution would be have a friend or someone buy items for you. Maybe we could offer like a pool of words where you compile your answer. That would require a lot of programming though. And definitely there's space for a lot of unintended right answers. There could be an answer that for someone makes sense, but I didn't consider it. So maybe it's not a good idea. We have opposite problems. Next game jam, really, we should consider working together. If only I didn't want to stream each one of those. I need time to do stuff. I like to polish things, and a 4-day time limit puts me in an uneasy state of mind. Yeah, I suppose polishing goes against game jams, but I would still suggest to at least try yourself in the experience and manage something. I don't know, something good can come out of it. Let me remind you the game jam from the forum, where you made a game in one freaking day. So you have no excuses. Okay, we may need to reason a little on how to input the answers. Answers. We could. There's the option to have a map where the player can do stuff in the map, which can work actually. We need just to find the tile set and all the stuff, which is extra work. But I think inputting the answer and moving on the map to... Oh, no. Having the contract and moving on the map to solve it could be the right idea. Again, though, there's the risk of having limited options and the player tries all of them. So maybe we should place a lot of options in all of those. Like, for example, 4 different options for object we are interacting with. It works for both the respawn, if we want a setting of respawning, where you jump out of the window and the contract is over. Or like you have $1,000 but you cannot buy anything. You interact with a friend and you give them the money. Huh. I don't think it's easy to implement. And also the door. You cannot go out of the door, you just open the door and leave. Though that would certainly bring some unexpected... some players that solve it without trying. Okay, Lo, thanks for coming. Good luck on the jam. And remember, if you don't have enough time, just time loop. It's this easy. We should consider our options, like move in the map. Literally, can have some... how do they call them? The player can choose the right answer by mistake. We could cover this though by having lots of options per item, which is nice. But in the case again of the you cannot go out of the door, will not check or test the player in saying how we go out of the door frame. You know what? We could program a way to input an answer composed by different text, which is something I want to use on a future game. Just as a small future game. So we can like prepare something in advance, right? So for example, maybe we want to open Google Sheets. Just to have an example. For example, we have lines of words. Take like any point and click game. Take, go, talk. The difference is instead of having just the action, move, pull. Instead of having just the action, you have the second word. Like take the one. We can even skip this thing. Or we can even like don't have anything. Like take, book, home. And then it will complete the sentence like take a book home. Take, door. Though we may wait. We may need a way to say through the door, for example. like door frame. Go take in through in towards talk to. Yeah, we need different verbs here, or I don't know how I don't know how they're called in English, at least. In Italian I might not remember as well. Oh well, it matters, I know them. In, through, towards, to, before, some adverbs. We have someone, door frame. We can even go through, move the. We also need the article. Move the chair. Okay, for now we just need 3, right? We can even add something else, like pull the chair, move to door, go to chair, talk to door frame. Yeah, we can definitely make some sentences. Go in someone. Huh. Yeah, you can make too many, maybe. This is the idea. You will have those ones and you select some of those, like go through door frame. And that's the solution, because you got to the door frame, not the main door. Though if we do this, we may need a map to visualize it. I think it would add something, so even if it risks to look like RPG Maker, we should have like an outline, like Toond did in Your Choice. That was a very good visual choice, but I think. Okay, so this is the idea. So we need 3 arrays. Array 1, array 2. We don't need to name them, but array 3. And more maybe later in harder questions. The important thing is we define them before and then we draw them. Okay. We are already almost 2 hours in. So we program this and then we continue next time. So this idea was right, give some of money, friend, but it's better to visualize it. So let's change it. This time the contract will just be a picture, and then you can write pieces of your answer. I don't know why, but I want like one of the last ones. Like there is an evil vampire waifu, and the solution to the exploit is marrying her or something. I don't know why. It would be a pretty perfect ending, I would say. Okay, so what do we need to do now? We need to define first the arrays. We can even store them in a variable. It's better if I just define them here. So words 1, and we have them. Just to test, let's place those. Take, go, talk, move, pull. We can add them more later. Okay, those. Divided by a comma. And for now we make only one. So what do we do now? We should call a script. Script. I think a script is more practical, right? The only problem we need to. No, we don't really have a. Yeah, we need to call this plugin through that. but there's worse things to do. Okay, we make a plugin for us. We can just make an empty one out of this. Small fixes. I always call one small fixes. Not this one. I opened another one. Why are you slow? It's just freaking text. Why are you slow? Okay, what's your problem, Windows? Windows, Task Manager, Opera. Of course it's Opera. While Opera, I'm revoking your RAM privileges. How much RAM are you using, Opera? 62%. Okay, look at this. 52%. Okay, listen. I'm revoking your CPU privileges. Aha! Get this! Checkmate! What do you say now, huh? I win. You lose. Okay. Still using a lot of memory. We may also revoke the memory privileges. It's using 9 gigabytes? What the hell are you doing, Opera? I'm revoking even your memory privileges. I may not be able to see the stream now, but at least it's not eating my memory. Look at this, 97%. What is this? Okay, we are back. I don't see the stream anymore, but I'm trusting we are still online. So, we have one here. It's simple. We just have a free plugin for us now. So we want function draw text from array, and we get array. Only one, because we want to do it depending on the section, right? So array column ID. No, not the best, because we may want to squish them a little if there are more columns. So maybe we need to know how many columns there will be. So maybe I will just send an entire array of arrays. This one. Again, I'm trusting my stream is still online. I definitely cannot see Twitch anymore. Now we need to, well, first make a loop. More than one loop, actually. For, let's say, a equals 0. A less than array of arrays length. A plus plus. For each row we say it's word array, and we read the current line of the array. So if there is only one array, we have only this. And for each word inside this word array, for reference, a word array is this. For example, it will have take, go, talk, move, poll. And for each of those, so for each, let word less than word array length. Why length didn't autocomplete here? W plus plus. And now for each word, the word is this one, we do something with it. Mostly we show it on screen. You're still alive. Thanks, Crocodile. Thanks. I appreciate it. I have to cripple Opera to continue running. Maybe I can reactivate it now. I'm not trusting it, but let's try. Yeah, unfortunately I had to skip on your game today because today starts the Game Maker Toolkit Game Jam. So we only have 96 hours to make a game. I would have gladly started with that game since it wasn't that long, but honestly I was worried of being a little rushed for some of it, since I usually double the length of whatever game I play because I talk about it a lot. Mostly RPG Maker. Okay, I'm seeing the live again. That's good. So, now we need to draw the text. So, to do it, we need to use the plugin, though this is code. To use the plugin through code, I wonder if there is a way to call it. Wait, we should make just a global function for this, huh? Can we make a global function for this? I think we can. I have an idea. I don't know if that's how you do it, but here now the functions are global. Function set text picture. You use arguments, and now all of this is mine. And here you just call set text picture with arguments. Should work, right? I should try. This doesn't work though. Plugin manager. Does it work? Let me experiment, because maybe it's not this simple. Let's try. Please work. It's not like we have a lot to test, but it's weird that it says cannot find plugin manager. Should be fine. Let's make a test. And let's call set text picture. I don't know what args we need though. Let's see. Oh wait, it reads the args here, right? Oh, even better, even better. So we can do like this. It takes the values and sends them directly here. Picture ID and common event ID. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Wait, this is the wrong one. Oops, we need to change the picture, the text picture one. So, still simple, right? We just need to do this. Text picture text equal to string. Oh. Okay. Is this a global variable? Can we just set it whenever we want? Because if that's the case, that makes it super easy. Come on. What's wrong with you now? Maybe something here is not defined? What's your problem now? Game interpreter. Yeah, those are supposed to be words, strings. Oops. Do you know what a programmer that only writes text does on GitHub? It's skimming something because it pulls the strings Yeah, not the best one, but I tried. So this one maybe should start after we decide when. Okay. So I just wanted to test this. If I can just overwrite text picture, text. No, not defined. Because it's inside the context of this. What if we make it global? I hope no one gets upset. So now if it is global, we can just reference it, right? Now we can reference it. That means, what does it mean? Oh yeah, that we can just define this one and we just draw any picture we want. It will go on default. For example, we have our evil witch here that shows an empty picture. That's it. But if we first through code say text picture text equal to mamma mia, it's defined, and now we talk to her and it appears mamma mia. So instead of using the plugin, we can just overwrite the string. Not the most elegant way, but it's a way nonetheless. So now we just need, in our small fixes, have here and say text picture text is equal to word. To make it better, maybe we should just have a space before. How do I write a backtick? Let's see, Alt 96. Perfect, we have it. Backtick is convenient because I can just have a string without having a empty space plus word plus open strings again, a space. I need a space around the word, otherwise it will crop it, which is awful to see. And for each one of those, we need to have a picture. So here we need a draw picture. So we may want to take our plugin from Invalidate and give it a small fix. It's rare particle pictures. I'm sure it will be super convenient. We just want to remove a bunch of features we don't need, like the fixed sprite on screen, black bars. Okay. That's it. Okay, this one is I made this one and it's very convenient because we can just draw a picture by defining the minimum required amounts. Like the file name and the picture ID. So here we can say easy picture and we say picture ID for now 21 and the parameters. File is empty. Does it create problems if file is empty? Oh wait, by default it's empty, so we can just not define it. We of course need to define the coordinates, but let's see for now. Now, this one now calls this function we made, draw text from array, and we send the array words. Actually there should be an array inside the array, so words 1. Let's see if it works. Draw text from we need to add the plugin. Would be cool if it would work first try. It doesn't. What's the problem now? What's the problem? Draw text from array. Ah, because we also need to define the other small fixes. Now it's the right one. Aha! And we have the word pool, which is the last one, right? It is, because it draws all the ones here, and then the last one. So we need to draw them on different layers. Not only that, on different position. Let's work on that. So first, we may want picture ID counter starts at 20. So now we will draw on picture counter that we have here. And we increase the value each time. I would say, each time we draw a picture, just here. We add one. So now they will all draw. The problem is, well, for now, let's see. Can you guess the problem now? They all draw on the same space. Also, while we are here, we may want to increase the size. Can we do this? Do we need a double slash? Does a single slash work or? No. We may want a double slash. Let's see now. Okay, it's bigger. We may want it even bigger. But for now we need to solve the problem. It all draws in the same place. So we may want to... we may also want to equalize the sides. That's for later though. First, we need to find the space. Also, we may want to center it... to set the center origin here. We set the origin as the center of the picture instead of the upper left corner. I think it's more easy. And now we need also to set the x and y. So the x can easily be determined. I wonder how should I do them. Should I place them vertically or horizontal? How should I place the text? Like, should I do all the read them horizontally or vertically? I think making a column here, here, one here, one here, one here, and read them horizontally is the best course of action. That means those words will be placed vertically. That also means we define a starting x, which is probably, we don't need a lot, 40. Starting y is a little less, 30. That means for each word we are gonna have an increase on the value. Did I write world? Yeah. Let me fix it. Okay. So now the position y of the word will increase. By how much? I don't know. Maybe the height of the screen divided by the length, so they will be equally spaced. I don't like it though. I think we can just have a fixed value here. I would say 100. So here the y will be word y. And we may want to reset the word y before each loop. We say starting y. Okay. While for the x, it's not important for now. And now Yeah, maybe the X is kinda important for now. Never mind. Never mind. So the X should be defined. Word X here. There is no starting X because they will only increase each loop. So I would say at the end of the loop, word X increases. By how much? Wait. We can make this more malleable, but for now, it starts at 200, let's say. And let's see if that's enough. Why doesn't it move? Oh yeah, because we are not using the parameter here. We have only Y. Here. They are placed here, even centered. Now we may want to add more names. This shouldn't be this hard, right? Let's take it from the example. Where was our example? Here. Oh yeah, of course, Opera. In through towards before the. Words 2. In through, oh yeah, strings. Okay, we have the strings now. And the commas maybe. Okay. And we insert here even words too. Let's see. I don't think they are spaced well enough, but I will see. Unexpected string. Well, your face is an unexpected string. What's wrong? Maybe yeah, I put a comma inside a string here. Here we have the words. Actually, that's fine. This one is kind of blurred a little. Also, they may need more. They may need more spacing. And we may want to center them. Huh. So how do we center them? We could actually have a simple formula for that. Why not bring out some math? We love math, right? Why not just a little? So what do we want? I want the picture, since they are centered around their center point, I want them to start in the center. And then based on the columns, in this case 2, there we go one here and one here, exactly on this line, because this line is the one that spaces them equally from the center. If there are 3, there will be more here and one in the center. I'm trying to figure out the formula though. I would say the right position here is the half, like 1/4 of the screen. So it's 1/4 from the center. If instead we have 3 columns, it's one in the center, one here and one here. Probably 1/3 here. I think 1/3 makes sense. Yeah, because because here they are distant from each other by 1/3. And in the other case, 1/4 plus 1/4, they are distant 1/2. I'm finding a math equation. Let me reason a little. So first of all, if they are uneven or odd, one will appear in the middle. But first, the first one will always be there. So it will be from the center a certain percentage. How much? How much? I feel like it's getting a little complicated. What if I calculate it from the left? Maybe the solution is it starts at it starts at 1 n times 2. I feel like, because here it's this is probably 1/6. It's half of 1/3 here, and before it was 1/4 as well. Let's see with 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did not keep the button pressed, I promise. I don't know. I don't want... You know what? I think I can just hard code it based on the number, right? Also, the distance is definitely based on the sides. So I can have a rough number, divide it by how many columns there are, and then just add some padding start of extra pad start, if it's even a name. Only in the case it's an odd number. Or do we even need it? Yeah, we can just work with this. So this one will increase by, let's say, 500 divided by the number of columns. And it starts, and it starts on with a similar value. 500 divided by the number of columns. We can fine tune this later, but we won't have more than 4 or 5, right? Okay, definitely not centered, but we may be on the right track, right? 1000. Okay, even just better. I would say it's better. What if we add a third line, though? Someone, door frame, chair. The array number 3. I just got a joke for a certain VTuber I know. I will later tell her. Okay. We also add it in the parameters. And let's see the magic, hoping the magic would actually happen. No, it doesn't. What's the problem? They are very crammed together. Maybe the numbers should be increased a little. The 100 in the middle though seems to work fine. Let's see. Okay, a little better. Maybe it should be like the width of the screen here. And even here maybe? I don't know, feels like the right number, but I could be wrong. Definitely wrong. Too bad, huh? A little better. Maybe we need to find a better formula, but for now, it definitely works. We can fine tune it later, even hard code it if we have more columns, but here it is. Yeah, we can definitely space them a little more. The spacing here is... No, actually I would keep it like this. Again, we can hard code it later. For now, we have it. Now we just need to select them. Let's do this. We make that we can select them and then we stop. Like I want to click on go through door frame and hopefully highlight them. So that means for each of them we need to have a button picture. I think we can restore what we were doing before. And now we can call it with just this. Picture ID, common event ID. And we don't need those anymore. Okay. Let's see if set button picture. Let's see if we can just write this and it doesn't crash. At the end we make set button picture for the picture 21, triggering the common event 21. Should be simple. And it says so we know oh come on. Plugin name. Okay, yeah, that's the problem. There are multiple variables with this name. But this is only declared once. We don't even need this, huh? It's more for convenience, I suppose. Do I call it elsewhere? No. Okay. We don't need it. Now, the second picture should be clickable. First one is not. Second, it is. It works. Magic. Look at this. Look at this go. Like, literally. So now we just need to define the same thing for every common event. Not the best course of action, but honestly, as long as it works. So we can just make here a choice ID based on the value here. Here, for example, we choose, we don't even need to set it. We can just have a common event. Select word. And we input here the number. 21, 20. I'm sure there is a better way to do this, but for now we do this, okay? We won't have more than 20, I hope. The only annoying part is doing manually this one by one. We can stop at 28 maybe. At least I just need to do those ones. 28 we stop, okay. So we need to define this function. We define it here. Function select word and word pick ID. Also, we kind of need to bound those because for now only the picture 21 is bound. We can just do this. After we draw a picture, we can just make we bound the picture ID with a common event with the same ID. And so all the things we said in the database here, now they kind of do something. They call this function, which is empty. What will this do? Well, good question. So, let's see. We can just actually use our plugin of Easy Picture, where we move the picture we selected, and we zoom it. Zoom. Wait, is there like a function of increased zoom? I think I did. relative scale here, relative scale, lovely. I'm incredible. Relative, we can say that the relative scale increases by 30. I actually wanted to change color, but I don't know how to do it now. Yeah, I can. Can I? I can redo the thing actually. I can. I need to save the word. For now, let's change its scale. Duration 30 frames. Easing 2, whatever it means. It's easing, right? Yeah. It means it's more smooth in doing the start or the end. Let's see. Talk. Yeah, it works. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this go. The problem is there's no stop. So we might have the go getting bigger indefinitely. Yeah, look at this go. Look at this go. Literally. Okay, that was funny. We've in. Also, we click on the O, on the go, so we may be wary of avoiding to click more than one, but yeah, since they have the space in the side, they may get triggered a little. Okay, 2 is the last one. So we kind of want to memorize which one we got bigger and which not, right? Also, we want to resize everything else if we pressed any other one of the column. So we need to know which words are in the column. So which column we are targeting. And so to reset all the others in the column. And we should define a default value for all of them, which is probably 100. For starters, we should probably say that we set a defined scale and we say like 140%. It only happens once. Also, we need to define let list of words. For now, it's an empty array of an empty array. So said. Well, actually, the external array is not empty. The internal one is. So it's not completely alone. Is it alone though? Because the array inside is empty, but the one outside is not. So it's kind of keeping company to the empty array. So I would argue they are not alone. I don't know, felt like an important philosophical moment. So now we need to fill this array every time we create a word. So we can just make a list of words of the line of the current column, and we push the word. Not with a L. Okay. Also, we need to create the empty array every iteration. So list of words number A equal empty. So at least we won't push letters in an array that doesn't exist. In this way, we are sure that the array always exists. Okay. At the end, we say the list of words, and we see if it works at least. It needs to work, otherwise, well, more headaches. Okay, we have it. Look, take, go, talk, move, pull. In, through, towards, to, before, there, someone, door, frame, chair. Perfect. We have it. We may also want to link to have like an ID for each of them, but because when I click the picture number 20, the word with ID 21. I don't know which word it is. So I need a way to relink it to... Maybe we should make two arrays? It's not a better course of action, but... Like, as long as it works, like, right. Let list of words by ID. This time is a singular dimension array. We're keeping things simple for these ones. It's the same. We add the same word to the array. List of words by ID, but this time we add it on a specific position. The same position of the picture ID. In this way, we can just read this one and know which ID, which word is in this array. I don't think that solves the problem though. Maybe... No, we may want to add two parameters instead of one. The name, the word itself, and the current column, which is A. This way, when the game says, oh, the player clicked picture 23, we know by reading this that picture 23 is the word pool in the first column. So we can use it here. So we can make a for and check every... Well, first we need to get this value. So column number is... We read from the array and we take the picture based on this of the picture we have clicked. If we clicked on the picture number 23, we will read the number of the column that picture is in, which we stored before. So now we know the word we clicked is in the first column. What do we do now? Since we know it's the first column, we need to reset all the other pictures. Okay, now we are trying to solve this issue. We got, yeah. Well, hello David, how it's going? We are making a short game in 96 hours for a game jam themed around loop, and we are finding loopholes. Now we are working on inputting the answer, and I'm clicking to highlight the answer. Though we are fixing a problem where you can highlight everything here. The solution should be simple though. I've been wanting to make a RPG Maker game in a short time. Yeah, the game jam just started. You're still in time. The theme is loop. Whatever loop you want. It's hard to participate with RPG Maker though, since people don't see with a good eye RPG Maker. But that's my objective, to make them change idea. Well, not only that. So the idea is, since we now know the column of the item we are selecting, we can check every item in the column and reset it. So for each in list of words in the column we are working in, so we go let e equal 0 for e less than the length of the column, e++. For each of them, we shrink them back. So we shrink the... Oh, we need the ID. I suppose even here we can push in the array the word together with the ID. The ID is picture ID. Okay, so in this variable now there will be saved in each column the word and the ID. That means we can now read the ID of the picture by using this list of words. column number, the parameter number 1. This is the idea of the picture. We shrink it back to scale 100 with extra parameters. And we do it for every picture, and then we override with the other one. If we want, we could make that it does it for everyone except the picture we want. But it shouldn't give problems if we do it like this. Let's see. Take. Oh, come on! Okay, maybe I know the issue because... Okay, wait. A good thing in coding in a text editor instead of in events is that you know where the problem is. Huh? Why only take is the problem? Yeah, look at this, lovely. I know where the issue is. Yes. 32. $52. Okay, there is no one here. List of words by ID. Can I see it? Huh, yeah, the first 22 are empty. What is the word PKD? Word pick. Not defined in the context, I see. I could print it so I know it. Word PKD. Weird that it only happens with the first word. Maybe it's not put in correctly? It's not saved in the array correctly. Huh. 20. Ah, it starts at 20, but... Wait, it adds one in the middle. That's nasty. No. We add one at the end. Okay. I added one in the middle, so the first half had a number and the second half had another number. Yeah, not what I wanted. So now I increase one and the other... Why does it not work? Huh. So. It doesn't even resize all of the others. Maybe? Okay, yeah, I'm missing a thing. So, list of words. I select the current column, so I select everyone in the column, and I select the current word, and we select the ID. We're missing a little piece. One piece, like the anime. Except this one will take 96 hours. Way less. Let's see. Take, talk. Yes, look at this. Look at this. They go back and forth. And if I select another one, this will not shrink because it's another column. Look at this. Ooh, that's so lovely. Yes, it works. Those ones are not programmed, but eventually it's just a boring copy paste. Okay, we have it. We may want to add implement a bunch of extra words so we can at least make a complete sentence. Maybe now. Picture 21 is enough, right? Okay, someone. We can select talk to someone here. And now when we select all of them, we should have a enter button. For now, though, we just have a text. So, how do we know that we selected all of them? We need to save it. Let selected columns. For now, how do we do it? I suppose we just have an empty one. And for each column we make, we can say that selected column A, the value 0, 1, 2, 3 of the array will be false. we default it to false. So at the end, this will be false, false, false. And when we select a specific column here, we just say, we selected the column number X. It's true. At the end, if, how do I do it? I don't know how to manage it. Maybe I should just count the selected. I think the easiest way would be to count. Not the most practical one, but it's not like RPG Maker lags if I have too many variables, right? Also, they need to be to reset every time, right? Yeah, they definitely need to be reset every time. Wait. Otherwise, issues, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Okay, and every time we select something from a column that wasn't selected before. So if the value is false, that means we selected a new word in a new column. That means we count 1. Else we set it to true. And we need to make another check if the count of column we selected is more than equal of the number of columns, which is list of words length. That means selected. We selected the phrase. We can even make it a little more fancier, but now we don't need to compile the word, right? We don't need to show the complete sentence on screen for now, because the player already sees it. Go toward talk. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Why does it say it's false? Ah, wait. That's wrong. I need to set them true when I need to set them true when I add something to them. Okay, okay. I don't know why I was doing that else condition. Okay, so take, go, walk, talk towards someone. Selected everything. Now a button should appear in some side of the screen. You press it and you confirm your loophole. And it only appears once because you cannot deselect words, which is fine. I don't want to implement it, and what would be actually pretty unuseful. Even if I kinda suppose the player may want to deselect a word, so maybe we might want to implement it. It shouldn't be that hard. Let's see. How do we do it? It's not simple because we need to mark the word. Which is the most practical? This one. We say false. Not the best. No, wait. Column number. We get ID. No, that's not straightforward way. Oh, yeah, actually there is. We can check its scale. Let's see. We can get picture scale X. So if world pic ID dot scale X, this is just an ID though. We need to get the actual picture. Game screen picture, and that's the ID. Good. Okay, now we get the scale of the picture. If the scale is 140, maybe we can parameterize this later. After this, we will stop, I promise. Even for me. So if it's 140, it will shrink back. If not, it will do the stuff from before. It will be selected instead. So what do we do to shrink it back? First, we have easy picture and we move it to the scale 100. And second, we deselect the column. We say the column now is not selected. That's it. No, we need to decrease the column count even. Okay. And that's it. We just click on it again and we deselect everything. Look at this. Okay, little problem, it doesn't work if you click too fast, but honestly, I don't see the issue. Also, if you spam click, for some reason doesn't work. Huh, weird if you spam click. It's fine, it's fine. I think I can even be a little more... No, let's avoid problems. Okay. Because if you click too fast, there's the risk of reducing the number too much. We can do this just to avoid problems. If the current column is active, then we reduce the number. Otherwise we don't, because it's impossible that well, if we click and the column has a number active, that means we clicked too fast to avoid issues. That means we can have it a little more reasonably in range. So if you click it and the size is bigger than normal, it still will go back. Never mind. I got it wrong. It's more than 120. Look at this. You can go back. Select it, go back, and select it again. Yeah, you can easily go back and forth with this by clicking and clicking. Up to, if it's beyond a certain threshold of size, you can just click it back. You don't need to wait, it goes all the way back. Okay, we got it. We can select a word. Pull the someone, and we have it. Pull the someone, everybody. It's pull the someone day. Pull someone and you will win a candy. Disclaimer, I don't take responsibility for your actions. We did it. We can stop here. We had our fun. I need to think on some loopholes. But apart from that, it's a good idea for a simple small game. Tomorrow we might want to implement changing color for the text, like highlighting it better. For now, though, I think we did enough. Let's see if there's someone we can raid. If we have enough raid power, even. Maybe we do. We can raid... Did we raid Powder? I forgot. I think we did. We can raid Meowie then. Depends on our strength as a collect. I pressed the wrong button. How did I even manage to press that button? Huh? Okay, I'm sorry. We are over. Like in a breakup, we are over. I'm sorry. But if you still want to remain friends, we continue streaming tomorrow, working more on those words and whatever we will do. Okay. Let's see, we go raid Meowie. Okay. Then that's everything for today. As I said, tomorrow we continue. And we'll see ya whenever happens.